It took a long time to decide to come and give a talk to bankers about banking. I am actually a stranger to banking. I hardly borrow any money. I was taught when I was young that you don't borrow money, unless of course you can pay back. So since I doubted whether I could pay back, I preferred not to borrow money. However, in the course of my work, I had to deal with bankers and banking and finance. And I had to learn something about how bankers work. What is the power that they have? Because the biggest power that the bankers have is to create money out of nothing. Now you see many countries are doing that like mad. America, Britain, they have this Queen Elizabeth. You know, QE. Queen Elizabeth. I use Queen Elizabeth because I can't remember what QE stands for. So when I think about Queen Elizabeth, I know it means quantitative easing, a new term, which is really nothing except that you create money, any amount of money. You don't have money, you create money, you pay your debts. Isn't it very nice? When you owe people, you go back, bring the money and pay. Of course, I keep on telling people they don't even bring money. They just enter figures into books. And then they lend the figures, and the banks lend the figures to the borrowers. The borrowers never see the cash at all. They only credit into his account. He wants to pay, he writes a check, still no sight of any cash, any money at all. And the man who receives the check goes to the bank. He doesn't get any money either because he's credited to his account. So where is the cash? There's none. Nowadays we are dealing with figures. And because banks and bankers and financiers are so powerful, they sometimes overstep the limits of the power that has been given to them. And so we have the present crisis. The present crisis in Europe and in America. And we see that they are not able to get out of this crisis. They cannot get out of this crisis simply because they are in a state of denial. They refuse to accept that they are now poor. They want to live in the style they were used to, but they had no money. So what do? Print more money. But this is not going to solve that problem. I was asked by the BBC and by a British newspaper to write on this thing and told them that when you are poor, live like poor people. But they don't accept them. They still demand to be paid the same old pay and all the perks and all the holidays and etc., less work, more pay. That kind of thing will drag down any country. But we, fortunately, have not been involved in this. We have not played in the financial market the way Europeans and Americans play in the financial market. My first, the first time I was horrified was when Orange County in California went bankrupt because of investments in hedge funds. And order went out that in this country we don't have hedge funds, we shouldn't allow hedge funds and we shouldn't be dealing with hedge funds. But course, this was a thing to do in America and in Europe. And then they eventually got into deep financial trouble because they retreated from real business into the financial business simply because they have no capacity to compete in real business. By real business, I mean producing things that you can sell to people and make a profit through the sale and other transactions. That is real business. But this financial market has nothing resembling real business at all. They don't have anything at all, and yet they can make tons of money. As you know, in 1997-98, our country was attacked by the currency traders. They were selling our money by the tons, and the money was depreciating. I was flabbergasted, I was startled. I couldn't understand how they could be selling our money. I thought that they had the ringgit with them. So, rather naively, we decided that we should stop people who carry bags from taking money out of this country. We told the customs people, examine all bags. And they found no money at all. And I wondered, how is it that the money goes out and that doesn't, you can't even detect where the money was going. And so I got a central banker in the person of Muhammad Yaqub and asked him, how do they take out the money? He said they just transfer in their books, change ownership, and the money is somewhere else. You don't actually see cash. So this was something quite new to me. I couldn't understand money at all because I carry money, cash in my pocket, not only credit cards. I don't use credit cards that often, but I think money still comes in the form of printed notes. But here we see billions of Malaysian ringgit flowing out of the country, and it is quite invisible. So I had to learn something about these things. So we can see that currency trading is about selling nothing for something and then making tons of money out of that. Today I am told, I don't know whether these facts are correct or not, that today's currency trading amounts to